Very happy to say very signed, the deal's all signed, and the strait is already partially opened. As you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found, but it's essentially ships are starting to go out now. On Friday it'll be completely opened. We got along very well with Iran. It's a different set of leaders. As you know, the first set is gone, the second set is gone, and we found the third set to be very smart, strong, very smart, but we ended up making a deal. I felt badly that we had to go back on the attack for 2 nights, and I thought a third, but we made it before that happened. But I think a lot of great things are going to happen in the Middle East right now, and very importantly, the oil is plummeting down, and the stock market is shooting up like a rocket today. And the main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that with strong policing powers, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, which is what it was all about, because they probably would have used it if they had it.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. Right? So when they say peace and safety, when they make these peace treaties or have these ceasefire agreements, hey, sudden destruction is going to happen, man, right after. These devils are setting you up to destroy you. You know, they come as an angel of light, but they really got destruction and warfare in their heart, man. That ceasefire, hey, that shit, it ain't happening. Ain't none of them happen. Right? Yet to this day has no ceasefire been upheld by Esau, Edom, man, the Caucasian race, the so-called white man, those that's ruling the earth in wickedness right now. Right? So just like a woman having birth pains when she's about to give birth to a child, you can't avoid that. You can't escape that. The woman cannot get around the sorrows of giving birth. The same way Ishmael, right? The same way the Iranians, Palestinians, the Lebanese, hey, ain't no way around it. They can't escape it, man. Because that's the MO of this devil, is to destroy. Kill, steal, and destroy, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalm chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. And this devil don't never uphold any agreements that he make. These peace treaties that he made throughout history, he never kept not one of them, man. He violated every peace treaty he ever made. He done violated every ceasefire that he ever agreed to, man. Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? So this devil got the gift of gab. He know how to swindle in some false advertisement. Right? He know how to swindle in a sweet lie. You know what I'm saying? Because the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right? But war is in his heart. Death and destruction and murder and theft is in this devil's heart, man. He come to you humble, crouching like he humble, but he full of pride. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
But it is also my job to represent the importance of Israel to the United States. This is just another reminder that it is your heritage, without a doubt. But minister, it is also the heritage of the United States. Without Israel, without the Jewish foundation, there would not be an America. We owe our very existence to what happened in this land.
And now this devil do a thing called performative lying, right? And just to give you some insight on what performative lying is a deceptive tactic where the speaker states an obvious falsehood, knowing the audience knows that it's false. Rather than trying to cover up a mistake or to deceive, the goal is to publicly display power, test loyalty, and force others to conform to the narrative. And that's what this devil do all day, man. Right? So there's dominance over truth when it comes to this performative lying. The lie isn't designed to be believed. It is a display of power, communicating that I can say whatever I want and you can't stop me. Right? That's the pride of this devil, man. That's the pride of Esau Edom. He's trying to force compliance on the rest of the world. Right? So by repeating a demonstrable falsehood, ceasefire, ceasefire, the speaker forces the audience to agree or stay silent, testing their alliance. Right? So that's what this devil doing. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to either get down or lay down. You know, but everything is of the Most High. This is the Most High's movie. You know, so brothers and sisters got to be prepared for what's to come spiritually and physically, man. Because it's about to get ugly out here. This war is about to soon spill on American soil. Right? But right now, Amelek and Esau going at it. They got some discrepancies going on. Right? As they should, man. Because Satan is casting out Satan, like the scripture said. This kingdom is divided. Right? Esau and Amelek has been running the world for a very long time. Right? But now they at odds with each other.
Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a great country. It was a country where you had professors, doctors, lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. Now it's terrible. I would say of all countries, they've been treated the worst. And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them. So, no, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah.
Right, let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. The book of Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25, and it reads, And H.O.I knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Verse 26, And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And it can't stand, man. A house divided against itself is in ruins, man. It's in shambles. Right? When two devils are casting out each other, how is their rulership is going to sustain? How are they going to sustain dominance over the whole earth if they going at it? And they going at it, man, as they should.
And you'll see that when you see the agreement, but it's appropriate that we release the agreement. And we did send a copy to Israel, by the way. They've been a good partner. Again, I think they could do better with respect to Hezbollah. I'm not saying they shouldn't protect themselves. I'm saying when two drones are shot into the desert and drop harmlessly, you don't have to knock down buildings in Beirut. They could behave better. And frankly, they could do a better job. I love them as a partner. They were terrific. But they could do a much better job with Hezbollah. On that, I don't think they're doing well. And I feel very bad for Lebanon. Lebanon's been, it was a great culture. They had the professors, the doctors, the lawyers. It was an incredible culture, maybe the highest in the Middle East for years and years, centuries. And for the last 50, 60 years, they have been just trashed. They have been living in hell.
Right? So we got to be prepared for what's to come. We got to stay rooted. We got to stay grounded in these laws, statutes, and commandments and the faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? Because this world is full of faithless people, man. The heathens are faithless people. Our adversaries, the ones that we will be delivered from, they are a people of no faith. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 5 and verse 9. The book of Psalms chapter 5 and verse 9. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth, Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is as an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Right? So there's no faithfulness in their mouth, man. They lying. When they speak a lie, they speak of their own lies. Right? They heart, their mentality is very wicked, man. The inward part is very wickedness, meaning they are full of transgressions. Right? Their throat is an open sepulchre, meaning that gift of gab, those smooth words, is like an open casket that wanna put you in it, man. They flatter with their tongue. They wordplay can lead you to the grave. Verse 10, destroy thou them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee.
It took the Israeli Prime Minister about 20 hours to come out and speak to the Israeli public about the deal that the U.S. president announced with Iran. This is a very deeply unpopular development. The opposition parties and even Netanyahu's own coalition partners have urged him not to accept it, not to comply with it. The Israeli Prime Minister insisted that his troops will continue to stay in the occupied Lebanese territory and will defend Israeli interests, will act militarily to thwart any attacks. That fudges the line.
הקמנו רצועות ביטחון עמוקות סביב מדינת ישראל. עשינו זאת בעזה, בלבנון, בסוריה, שם אגב חיסלנו את כל הנשק של צבא אסד, שהיה חוליה מרכזית בציר הרשע. ואני רוצה להבהיר, אנחנו נשאר ברצועות הביטחון ככל שידרש כדי להגן על המדינה שלנו.
It doesn't put the Israeli Prime Minister in direct confrontation with Donald Trump, but certainly it continues to pose the question of just how much leverage Israel has to derail the talks and what kind of actions await in the coming days.
We do now have the details of the agreement, although we haven't seen the formal document which reportedly has been signed by the President of the US and the President of Iran. But US officials have been briefing reporters on the contents, the 14 points of that memorandum of understanding. And it appears as well that a formal signing will still go ahead in Geneva on Friday, but that will be an effective launch of the 60-day process. There's a great deal of dissatisfaction with the Memorandum of Understanding as it has been outlined to the public at this particular point. The administration responds by saying that this is a Memorandum of Understanding. It is not a deal. There are still many details to be plotted out in the weeks of negotiation that are going to follow, particularly with regard to the nuclear issue and the lifting of sanctions on Iran, as well as reparations or a $300 billion fund that is mentioned in the memorandum to be paid, or money to be put into Iran under the supervision of the United States, which says it will not provide any money. There will be no exchange of any funds from the US, insists US officials and indeed President Trump himself. Though, once again, those funds that have been frozen by the US, they will be released depending on Iranian compliance with the Memorandum of Understanding and as the negotiations proceed.
Right? And there's no salvation for these devils, man. There's no salvation for these devils. The Most High is going to let them be destroyed by their own counsel. Right now, the world is witnessing these devils get confounded, man. The wisest men in Edom are being confounded right now. The wise man of Edom is being confounded right now in front of the whole world. Right? They making dummy plays, man. They making dummy moves out here in front of everybody. Right? Destroy them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. And now the Most High is pulling away that power from them that he once gave them. Right? Because his children are turning back to the law, statutes, and commandments and the faith in his only begotten Son. Now he's taking that power from Esau, Edom. Shalom.
Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a great country. It was a country where you had professors, doctors, lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. Now it's terrible. I would say of all countries, they've been treated the worst. And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them. So, no, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah.